Welcome to your Barbados Today evening update for Monday, June 19. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. The Royal Barbados Police Force has ordered an investigation into a video making the rounds on social media showing a police officer kicking a civilian on the ground. The video was recorded at the Waikiki event at Pirates Cove last night. Police had to be called in to control the crowd as patrons reportedly broke down a fence in a mad scramble to get into the event. Several people were detained and the fete was abruptly ended. In a statement, Police Public Relations Officer Acting Inspector Roland Cobbler says the force will first try to determine if the individual in uniform is a member of the force. He also appealed to anyone with information who can assist in the investigations to contact the Police Professional Responsibility or the Police Complaints Authority. However, prominent attorney Andrew Pilgrim QC is describing the incident as a blatant abuse of police powers. The men in that video are 22-year-old Romario Mitchell Quinton of 122 Cordia Drive, Warners Park, Christchurch, and 26-year-old Dario Rico Staton of Harts Gap, Christchurch. They appeared before Magistrate Christy Coffey Sargent, charged with offences stemming from the June 18 incident, including using abusive language, assaulting and obstructing 3 police constables in the execution of their duties. They denied the charges when the matter came up in the District A Magistrates Court this afternoon. With no objections from the police prosecutor, Quinton was released on $2,000 bail, while Stanton secured his freedom on an $8,000 surety. After the matter was adjourned to September 14, Pilgrim, who is the men's lead attorney, told reporters that the video clearly tells a story of what took place.
I think the camera shows blatant abuse of police powers. I don't think there's any other way to describe it. The instructions that I have received from my clients suggest that they did no wrong. But obviously, I understand there are 2 sides of every story. But that camera can't lie. Somebody got to come and show me that that video is doctored. And that is not a police officer, the Royal Barbados Police Force, kicking a man who is already lying on the ground twice about his body. When you look at these boys' faces, they tell a story. And obviously, we're going to take all the appropriate action against the individuals.
In other news this Monday, business magnate Sir Charles Williams slams Government Senator Jepter Ince, who last week described the local business community as parasites. During last Friday's Astor B. Watts lecture at the Democratic Labour Party headquarters, Ince, the parliamentary secretary in the Ministry of Finance, charged that the private sector was doing little to spur growth and employment, forcing the government to take charge. Ince also knocked the private sector for criticizing austerity measures outlined in the budget. But speaking on Down to Brass Tacks earlier today, Sir Charles hit back, accusing the government of holding back the private sector from taking the country forward.
That it took me 10 years to get the permission to develop business. Had I got it even in 5, I would have sold everything by the time the grass came. It took 3 years and a personal intervention by the late Prime Minister, Mr. O'Inassis, to get Fortune Charles passed in 3.5 years. That has also brought in over 200 million into Barbados. And he says that the private sector got to step up. Then to step up to get mashed.
The developers of the $200 million Wyndham Grand Resort declared the project is above board. That's in response to charges recently leveled by opposition leader Mia Motley that the government may have flouted the law by starting construction when it only applied for approval just 2 months ago. During the 2017 budget debate, she argued that sections of the Wyndham project were covered by the CLICO plans and the overall development was still awaiting planning approval. But today, acting general manager of Sam Lord's development project set the record straight, insisting they have received the required permission from the Town and Country Planning Department.
Well, just to be clear, planning permission has been given for the buildings presently under construction. It is not unusual, and in fact, what has happened, we had bought over the intellectual property, including the planning permission from the CLECO arrangement. So we are building the hotel itself. Certainly the hotel component is positioned on the same footprint as the original permission. So we are in fact constructing in a manner which is in compliance with all of the legal regulations. What I do have to say, and I think it's fair to say, that we have applied for an amendment, which is not unusual in such situations. And that component of the product is somewhat off of the original footprint. But that does not in any way call into question the legality of our actions with regard to the construction. So just to draw a line under this, we are acting in full compliance of the regulations and are not, nor do we intend to operate outside of the law.
Intermittent moderate showers have been affecting the island throughout the evening as potential tropical storm number 2 continues to trek towards the Windward Islands. The Barbados Meteorological Office discontinued the flood watch warning issued earlier today at 6 p.m. However, a high surf advisory and a small craft warning remains in effect until tomorrow. Acting Deputy Director of the Met Office, Sonia Nurse, says the island is not likely to experience any significant activity throughout the night.
We may continue to get some light showers during the night, but I don't really anticipate any more significant rainfall this time. Based on what I'm seeing now on the radar and so on, I mean, that could change, but we will continue to monitor during the night.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Good morning, Phillips & Company, may I help? Oh, certainly. One moment, please. Miss Phillips?
Yeah?
There's a lady on the line from the Nation newspaper who would like to speak with you.
The Nation? Will she go on?
Well, they're trying to sell us some ads.
Look, don't make me laugh this morning. Ads in the Nation? They're real expensive, and for 1 year, nobody ain't buying them papers no more. Nobody want to steal news. I hear reading Barbados Today online for free. So I tell she thanks for calling, but no thanks. We just advertising Barbados Today, families. Tell she is Barbados Today all the way.
Okay, I'll pass on the message. Mom, are you still there? Oh, she put it down.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To the region now in Trinidad and Tobago, where residents in Mayaro are already feeling the effects of the approaching weather system. Authorities have announced that schools will be closed on Tuesday and government offices in the sister isle of Tobago will be shuttered. The National Hurricane Center in Miami warned the system, which has been identified as potential tropical storm number 2, is likely to become a tropical storm by Monday night or early Tuesday. Now, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, authorities have discontinued the tropical warning for the island. Vincentians are, however, advised to expect moderate showers and isolated thunderstorms tonight. A tropical storm watch has been issued for the nearby Dutch Caribbean islands of Bonaire, Curacao, and Aruba. And on the international front, tourists strolling along Paris's famous Champs-Élysées Boulevard watched in horror as a car rammed into a police van this afternoon. And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Mix 96.9 FM. There you can get all the very latest. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.